Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my mind space. I'm Tenny, and thank you so much for being here with me today. So, today we're stepping into another conversation that so many of us actually need, especially in a world where connections can feel blurry, can feel idealized, or built on assumptions and projections instead of truth. This is something that have changed the way I move in my relationships. Reality-based connections, because the aligned connections are grounded, they're honest, they're emotionally safe, and that's what we all crave, but not taught how to create. So many of our relationships begin with fantasy, not reality. We fall for potential, we fall for the version of someone we hope they can be, we fall for the stories we've created in our minds. But the truth is, fantasy-based connections feel exciting, definitely, but they are ultimately unstable. These connections are built on projections, on assumptions, on idealization, on emotional imagination, and unspoken expectations. So when reality shows up, as it always does, the connection collapses. Fantasy feels good, but it's not sustainable. Because for a long time, I realized I wasn't connecting to who people were. I was connecting to who I imagined them to be, or who they were in the past, their potentials, their words, their idea of us, the emotional excitement. And those feelings can be very powerful and consuming, but the reality is that feelings are not facts. The thing is, when we build connections on imagination instead of the evidence right in front of us, we will always end up confused. Reality-based connections require embodiment. Embodiment in the sense of observing, not just listening to the words being said, but noticing the consistency over time. Not just absorbing how the connection makes you feel in the moment, ultimately observing patterns and not just attaching to the intention, because the patterns are the real language in the connections. And when patterns are ignored, you sign up for lessons, and sometimes really painful lessons. I had to be honest with myself and ask myself something uncomfortable about my past relationships. Was I falling for the potentials in connection? And what it could be, the possibility, the version of them that showed up 20% of the time, and I would spend the rest of the time trying to earn that version back. I realized that those connections were not aligned with me. I realized that I was chasing intermittent reinforcement, which was emotionally draining over time. The truth is, reality-based connection sounds less romantic, but it's actually more intimate because it's built on truth. It's observing if the action actually matches your words. It's observing are they emotionally available or just emotionally expressive. There's a difference. Some people can talk about feelings very beautifully, but they can't actually sustain consistency over time, because consistency is intimacy. So embodying reality-based connection meant I stopped negotiating with my truth because the chemistry is strong. It meant I stopped translating mixed signals into hope. It meant I start trusting what I can see the first time around. And ultimately, that requires self-regulation on my part because sometimes the truth can be boring. The reality is, connections that feel safe might not have fireworks in the beginning. Reality-based connection can be the steady love that doesn't feel dramatic. The truth is, chaos is in chemistry, intensity is in intimacy, and anxiety is in attraction. Let's pull apart the layers of what reality-based connection actually means. It's grounded, it's honest, it's rooted in who someone actually is, not who you want them to be. It looks like seeing people clearly, listening without projecting your opinion on what they're saying, accepting their truth, not your version of it, being honest about your own needs and your own limitation, and ultimately connecting your present self, not your wounded self. Reality-based connection isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Two people meeting each other as they are, not as a character in each other's fantasy. It's two wholes meeting to evolve and thrive together. The thing is, with reality-based connection, they can feel unfamiliar sometimes, almost suspicious if you're used to intensified, unpredictable connections in the past. But unfamiliar doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means your system is recalibrating to the new connection. And embodying this kind of connection also means being honest about yourself, because we can demand reality from others while we're living in fantasies of ourselves. Embodied means I show up as I am, I say what I mean, I follow through, I don't future fake, I don't breadcrumb, I don't keep people in the maybe phase, because reality-based connection is mutual clarity, not guessing where you are. No performing detachment, no playing emotional chess or games. It's peace, and peace can feel quiet sometimes, but peace is sustainable. The aligned connection is based on reality. You give what you want back. It's a two-way flow. Both of you showing up fully and choosing and meeting each other where you are. You're embodying what you're asking for. This got me thinking, why do we avoid reality in relationships? I do believe we avoid reality quite often is a form of self-protection. We avoid reality because fantasy feels safer than truth. We avoid reality because we fear disappointment. We fear confronting our own patterns. We fear acknowledging what we actually need. Fantasy lets us stay comfortable. Reality asks us to be accountable. But the truth is, you cannot build a healthy connection on avoidance. You cannot connect with someone authentically if you don't connect with yourself first and know your needs and know your boundaries and know your emotional patterns, your triggers, and knowing what you're actually available for and your limits. When you're grounded in your own reality, you stop chasing people, chasing illusions. You stop ignoring mismatched energies. You stop shrinking your truth. You stop forcing compatibility. You stop performing for love. You stop settling for emotional breadcrumbs. and you stop saying in situation that doesn't align with you. Ultimately, your self-connection becomes your filter because reality-based connection is built through honesty, not just hope. The truth is, there's freedom in choosing what's real. When you embody in reality, you start attracting grounded relationships. You start connecting with emotionally mature connections. You start attracting clarity, peace, stability, and a two-way flow energy. Reality becomes your safety, not your fear. Remember, embodying reality-based connection is an act of self-respect. It's choosing truth over fantasy. It's choosing clarity over confusion and choosing alignment over attachment. You deserve connection that exists in the real world, not just in your mind space. Connections that meet you where you are. Connections that honor your truth. Connections that grow with you, not around you. Thank you so much for sharing this moment with me today, and thank you for choosing yourself too. Until next time, may you choose what's real, honor what's true, and trust that the aligned and grounded connections will always serve you better than imagined love.